students, welcome to UPSC Hub channel. In this video we are going to launch a new series that is a previous year question series. In this video we are especially dealing with the previous year questions from the environment subject. In environment subject again we are seeing the topics like national parks, biosphere reserves and wildlife sanctuaries. In this topic we will solve the previous year questions which are asked by the UPSC in past years, and these exams, UPSC exams, like the questions asked from the civil service examinations and the questions asked from the EPFO examination or CDSC examination or engineering service examination. These are several exams usually conducted by the UPSC. We will solve the important previous year questions asked by the UPSC, especially in the environment subject. Here today in this video we are solving the previous year questions from the national parks, biosphere reserves and wildlife sanctuaries. The first question here, if you observe that this question came in 2015 for the exam of CDS. Every year UPSC conducts the CDS examination in two times, like CDS 1 and CDS 2, and this comes from CDS 1 examination. Okay, whatever it may be, especially in environment subject, it mostly it has the higher questions from the factual based. The most of the questions are come from based on the facts basis. For example, in polity or economy, most of the questions will include the analysis part. But in case of the environment, the subject mostly questions asked were based on the facts. Here we should remember the facts. In this series we are planning for the previous year questions because most of the questions are based on the facts, and at the same time if you try to remember these facts, it will at least useful for the elimination of options, so that it is a huge scope to ask, and it is a never ending subject, so that if you know something about that anything about the particular wildlife sanctuaries or national parks, at least we have the chance to eliminate what are the things which are coming into the examination. We cannot stop because it is in a wide scope, it has a wide scope subject, so that we cannot stop that. But at least if you know one or two options, we can easily eliminate. Okay. Here the first question here is about the one side they given the list of the sanctuaries and other side they give the states. We have to match these. We have to match the list 1 with the list 2. Here, before solving this question, shall we try to understand the important concepts and map pointings and about these sanctuaries? After that, we will match these list 1 and list 2. Here the first here given about the Sharavat Valley. Sharavat Valley. Where is the Sharavat Valley? Here I given the some information. The Sharavati Valley is in Karnataka. It is majorly in the Western Ghats. Here I given the map also. If you observe this map, here the Sharavati river flows here. Here the Sharavati river flows here, and it is also the Sharavati valleys and Sharavati sanctuary is at the Western Ghat. This is the Western Ghat area and this is the Eastern Ghat area. The Sharavati river flows in the Western Ghats, and Sharavati valley also lied in the Sharavati Western Ghats. Apart from this, along with this Sharavati Valley and Sharavati River, we try to remember some other rivers because it is already, these facts are very important, already placed here, and at least it will be useful for the quick revise of the important rivers, especially those rivers flowing into the flows into west side, especially they drain into the Arabian Sea. Here is the Arabian Sea. And these are the major rivers. These drain, especially these rivers flows into the Western Ghats, we drain into the Arabian Sea. Here if you observe this Mandovi River, Mandovi River is flows in the Goa, and Zuari River also flows in the Goa. It is a western flowing river. And Kali Nadi is a border between the Goa and Karnataka, and mostly it flows in the Karnataka. And Sharavati River is very important river, and which is most of the times if you observe that most of the questions are came from the Sharavati River. So the Sharavati River is flows in the Western Ghats. Here is the Netravati. Don't confuse with the Indravati. Here Eastern Ghats, here Indravati River flows here near Chhattisgarh and Orissa border. Indravati River flows here. Here is the Netravati. Netravati is different from the Indravati, and these two questions asked by the UPSC for the several examinations. And Netravati is the west flowing river and which flows in the Karnataka. And Bharatpuzha River. Bharatpuzha River is the longest river in Kerala, and it is the longest west flowing river in Kerala. And Periyar River and Pamban rivers are also flows in Kerala. These are also drained into the Arabian Sea. Okay, here if you observe that the Sharavati Valley is in Karnataka, and it nested in the Western Ghats, and it's spanning between the Shivamogga district and Uttar Kannada districts. Here it is spanning between the Shivamogga and Uttar Kannada districts, and the Sharavati River flows through it. The Sharavati flows through the Sharavati Valley, and it has a home for the line-tiled macaws, and it is also has the Sharavati line-tiled macaw wildlife sanctuary, and which is established in 1972. And here if you observe that the line-tailed macaws are a major habitat for here, but these are endangered in this sanctuary. And here the species we are also found that great Indian hornbill. It is a bird. Indian hornbill birds also can found here. Here the Sharavati River. The Sharavati River is the major river flowing in the Sharavati Valley. It has the highest waterfall, that is a jog fall. The major important bit here, most of the times it repeated. Jog falls. The Jog Falls waterfall, where it is it is on the Sharavati River, and it has the 253 meters waterfall. And this valley also has the Sharavati river, reservoir. Where there is a river, there is a chance for the construction of the reservoirs. And Sharavati hydroelectric projects, and here the major we have the it has the storage project like Sharavati pumped storage project. Later we will try to understand whenever this subject comes, especially energy. We will understand what is pumped storage system, and different energy storage systems also we will discuss there. Here finally the Sharavati Valley in the Karnataka. The Sharavati Valley has the Sharavati River, and it has the highest waterfall, that is nothing but a jog fall. Jog fall, where it is on the Sharavati River, and it is the Sharavati Valley is the home for the line-tailed macaws. It is home for the line-tailed macaws, and these are also in endangered. IUCN status is the endangered status. And next here if you observe that the next option B is the Satkosia Gorge. Where is this Satkosia Gorge? Here I put the map pointing also. Satkosia Gorge is in the Orissa. Here is the Orissa above the Andhra Pradesh, and here is the Satkosia Tiger Reserve. It is between the Simlapali Tiger Reserve and Kandhamal district. Okay, here it is an Middle Eastern, okay, eastern side of the Odisha, Middle Eastern side of the Odisha, Satkosia Tiger Reserve, and it is an eastern Odisha. It has the Mahanadi, the river flowing through this. Here it is the river. Here it is the river, and the major river flowing through this Satkosia river is the Mahanadi River. And the Satkosia Tiger Reserve formed in 2007 and it is merging with the Satkosia Gorge Sanctuary and Baisipali Wildlife Sanctuary. The major biodiversity of this Satkosia Tiger Reserve in sal, mahua and bamboo, and more than 200 bird species are can found here, and elephants and leopards and wild dogs are critical habitats for this Satkosia Tiger Reserve. Don't confuse with this Sariska Tiger Reserve. Sariska Tiger Reserve in Rajasthan. Here it is a Satkosia Tiger Reserve. Satkosia Tiger Reserve in the Odisha. And here it is also designated as the Ramsar site in 2021. Okay, there is a major problem here with the human-wildlife conflict, especially between the tiger population and human habitats. More than 234 villages are impacted with this human-wildlife conflict. Just try to remember the major facts. And here if you observe that the third option, C, here C given for the Pirotan Island. Where is this Pirotan Island? The Pirotan Island is in Gujarat. If you observe that this is the map of the Gujarat. It is in a Ran of Kutch. It is the Gulf of Kutch. Here the Gulf of Kutch. Here it is the Gujarat. Here if we observe that map, we have the map structure like, after that we have the shape. We have the Indian map like this. Here I will draw again. We have the Indian map like this. So that here it is the Gulf of Kutch. In this Gulf of Kutch, here is the map. And the Pirotan Island is in the here. It is in the Gulf of Kutch Island. It is the small island. And here important features and location of this Pirotan Island. Here it has the 12 nautical miles. It is far from the 12 nautical miles, that is 22 kilometers from the Bedi port, that is the Jamnagar district of Gujarat, and it is far from the 22 kilometers from the Jamnagar district, and it is also part of the Gulf of Kutch Marine National Park. And it has the major ecological significance, like it encompasses, it includes like mangroves, coral reefs, low tide beaches, and it is also including the sea worms and mud skippers and sea urchins, and some other seabirds are also part of in this Pirotan Island. And major mangrove species include like Rhizophora, Abyssinia and Ceropius. These are the important mangrove species can be found here. We also know that mangroves has the highest density at the West Bengal and second highest in the Gujarat coast, especially this Gulf of Kutch area. And the major transportation through the port, and that is also from the Bedi port in the Jamnagar district. Okay, let's see the fourth option. Here D, here given about the D. D is in Bhagwan Mahavir. Bhagwan Mahavir. Where is this Bhagwan Mahavir Wildlife Sanctuary? This Bhagwan Mahavir Wildlife Sanctuary or the Mollam National Park are in Goa. Here is the map. The Bhagwan Wildlife Sanctuary. Here is the Bhagwan Mahavir Wildlife Sanctuary. And in this topic we are also covering with the other wildlife sanctuaries in the Goa. Here this is the Goa map, and Goa also has the Salim Ali Bird Sanctuary. He is the father of birds conservation. Salim Ali Bird Sanctuary is in the Goa. It is also in the northern part of Goa. And we are also have the Bondla Wildlife Sanctuary. It is an eastern side of the Goa, and here the question asked about the Bhagwan Mahavir Wildlife Sanctuary. It is in the middle eastern of the Goa. It is also border with Karnataka. And another important wildlife sanctuary here is the Kotigawa Sanctuary. Okay. Here if you observe that the location and geography here we observe that, and it is also spans with the Mallan National Park, and this Bhagavan Mahavir Wildlife Sanctuary is in Goa, so that it is part of the Western Ghats. It is also recognized, Western Ghats are also recognized as the UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it is a major home for the diverse flora and fauna. Includes, it has the leopards, black panthers, sloth bears, and over 200 bird species it can accommodate. And here is the important feature. Here it is the Dudhsagar Falls. It is the Dudhsagar Falls, one of the India's tallest waterfall, where Sharavati River has the Jog waterfall. Here Bhagavan Mahavir Wildlife Sanctuary has the Dudhsagar Falls, and it is established as a sanctuary in 1969 and designated as the National Park in 1978, and it is also managed by the Goa Forest Department. And here major challenges with this Bhagwan Mahavir Wildlife Sanctuary is the problem is, here it is the major problem with the mining activities. And Dudhsagar waterfall on the river of Mandovi River. Bhagwan Bhagwan Mahavir Sanctuary has the Mandovi River, is flows through it. Already we seen in the first slide. Like here is the Mandovi River. Mandovi River has the waterfall of Dudhsagar waterfall. Dudhsagar waterfall, and Sharavati River has the waterfall of Jog Falls. These both are very high, tallest waterfalls, especially on these rivers. So that here Bhagwan Wildlife Sanctuary, has here through which the Mandovi River flows through it, so that it has the Dudhsagar waterfall. Dudhsagar waterfall. Try to remember this. Dudhsagar waterfall is on the Mandovi River, and Jog Falls is on the Sharavati River. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a happy day.